Well, good morning, everybody. Let's get this thing fired off, huh, Josh?
Let her rip.
Hey, it's a beautiful Saturday morning out there. It's October, Josh. Can you believe it?
It is crazy to think that, for sure.
Hey, it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. Number there at the bottom of the screen. This is a show about your car.
Mm-hmm.
Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries. But I guess, if you want to talk about anything in the automobile world, we'll take it, right, Josh?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Something, right? So, hey, let's get the phones ringing. Love to hear from you. Anything. Don't care what it is, whatever. I know we got several topics I want to talk about this morning.
Yep.
I bet Josh has got a couple too, but Josh and each and every caller, not a chat line. Of course, we love the chat line too from that part too. But if you want to get on the phone here and win a great prize package, and Josh, we even said it this week, we was going to get the value of that thing. But we're still telling the truth. It's over $130.
And that's true.
And from that part. So, Josh, as always, what's in that package, buddy?
So we're going to mail it out to you, but it consists of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products. While we're performing that, we're going to complete a multi-point inspection on that vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components on it. You'll also receive yourself $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the Big Corner. Complete nitrogen for all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer for you. And then a BG products package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil and 44K for your fuel system. And getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. And so, again, that goes out to each and every caller.
All right, let's get the phones ringing. Love to hear from you. That number comes right to the front desk. Tell the girls at the front desk there that you want to get past in the podcast, and we'll get you on the air and hopefully pay attention to the phone, Josh. Sometimes
we
let some people hang out there for a little bit too. So, hey, Josh, we had the buy three, get the fourth tire for $1.
We did.
And it was a great promotion. What I loved about it the most, it wasn't just a few days. We had about not
21 days. So there was 14 days.
14 days.
Yeah, which was, excuse me, which was a lot longer than they typically run the promotion. Yeah. And honestly, I will say that we got a little bit longer length of time to prep for that too. Typically they let us know, 5 days in advance or something like that. And for us to get it out there and start advertising it and maybe go back and look at customers that needed that service, and declined it for whatever reason, we're able to kind of recontact those. And, so for us to be able to get a little bit more time to prep for that and try to help those customers that do need it was a huge advantage as well.
So if you missed out, sorry, but if you made the appointment and got set up and everything else like that, congratulations, you had a great deal.
Yep.
And I do know, Josh, I've been on this board for a little bit helping with these things, and that's what I told them. We need to have it a little longer time. We need to have a prep time and that kind of thing. But we had another manufacturer out there try to copy this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, they went out and they raised their prices a week before they did the program to offset that cost. That's one thing Ford didn't do, or we didn't do either. Yeah. We didn't raise the price of the three. It's still your normal price. So if you look at the price you paid for those tires and look now on our site, it's be the same price that we have today. We did not raise that up, but that was a lot of topic we had in there during that meeting, was talking about time to set up, time to prep for the customers, but also not to gouge these customers like another manufacturer did. They actually raised it higher to pay off that tire.
Well, I think that's really true when it comes to any industry, right? You see a sale, and is it really a sale, or is it, what was it beforehand? What is it now? What is from that side of it?
And that's one thing with us is we are trying to be very honest, upfront. Don't twist your arms, give you a good value. Character integrity is a big thing apart to me.
Sure.
And talk about that price. And I still remember when I was a young kid at home, and we always went to Newton to shop. That's kind of what it is. That's a bigger place for us. And of course, Halstead had some great shops and stuff too, and still do today. But I do remember walking through there one day, one of those department stores over there in Newton, and we actually caught a sign there that said, "Mark this up before the sale." And saw it. But that was back when I was a little kid, so it's been going on a long time. Mark this up before the sale. It was written right on the boxes. We're getting ready to stock the shelves and stuff like that. And wish I could have had a camera phone at that time. Take that picture, right?
Yeah, you mean the Polaroid? And then you wait there for 10 minutes for it to develop, and by then the sale be on, over, and back to regular price.
Yeah. So anyway, a great tire sale for for the quick lane and
Mhm.
also the main store and stuff like that too. But it was really great. But I still can't stress enough, if you're going to buy tires, there's only one place to come get your tires, to have the opportunity to get taken care of, have the right equipment to mount your
selection.
tires,
Yep.
the selection, the warranty, the price match guarantee. There's just not a better deal to get you set up, because it's, like I said, back in my day wrenching with my dad, we just had a G60 15 and an F60, different sizes, but not today. You've got to get the right load range. You got to get the right speed rating, all that kind of stuff. I know we talked about this on many, many shows, but there's just a lot more into putting tires on than that part.
Well, and one of the things too that goes along for me with the tire side of it is it does have to do with the tires, but it's really not even about that. Is like, okay, well, there's a lot of places out there you can go and buy tires, right? But for me, it's maybe even the thought of what purchasing a set of tires truly should be. Okay. And so I'm looking at it from a perspective of, okay, getting the right tires is great, and having a good technician do that. But I'm looking at it from the aspect or the side of it is, what equipment is that technician using
There you
to
go.
put those tires on? What balancing equipment,
There you go.
what kind of shape is that stuff in? And then even further down the line there would be the balancing side of it, but now alignment.
There you go. Yep.
Because these tires, you put
Yeah.
$1,000 in a set of tires in no time.
I'm seeing this deal on Facebook a lot, and I even showed Kelly. I don't know if I showed you, Josh, or not, but me and Nick Ballman were talking about it too. They got where you take your iPhone now and do an alignment on a car. Now let's ask how accurate that's going to be.
So, the alignment side and what kind of equipment and how's that calibrated. And then not only that, just having that technician with that knowledge of being able to look over that car and know what the suspension components are like, and are they good? Are they worn? And we've talked about it on this show too. And when it comes to alignments, and, there's ranges in alignment, right? So we can kind of continue that conversation here a little bit, but let's go to the phones and talk to Greg. Good morning, Greg. You're on live with Under the Hood.
Good morning, guys. How are you this morning?
Doing great.
Good. I had a couple of questions. One kind of specific, the other just more of something to kick around. But so I've got the hybrid F-150. I've also got a hybrid Toyota Avalon, and I know they have regenerative braking, but and I do mostly highway driving. But what should I expect for brakes out of, say, a set of front brakes? My Toyota has 104,000 miles and hasn't had any brake service, no pads. You guys service it too. The truck has less miles. I think it's 74 or so, but I don't know. What am I looking at if I drive mostly highway and I don't have any?
It's a great question. It's also such a variable answer.
Yeah. I mean, with that highway driving and stuff, you got to think about those brakes hardly even wear. It's the city stop and go traffic that's wearing out your brakes so much faster than it is. Even coming out the highway, coming down at say 70 mile an hour and coming down, you're hardly using those brakes to slow you down and stop. But in town, you know how it is. You accelerate up to 45 and then boom, back down to 0 and that sort of thing.
I will say you will use less having that.
That
regenerative braking.
Yes.
You are going to use less brakes in doing that for sure. And brakes are such a variable question. I mean, you can take the exact same pickup and you can put my wife in it, and she will never need a set of brakes.
Yeah.
and I can drive that thing, and for whatever reason, the change in operator, well, I know the reason, but
yeah. And you do realize that regenerative braking is, when it's doing that, it's not using where you're using your brake pads at all
to do it. Yeah.
It's using the power of that to regenerate the battery. So that's really saving life on your brakes too. Years ago, a long time ago, brakes would wear out in about 10,000 miles, and I remember we'd see cars coming in at 40,000 miles and finally needing brakes. We were flipping out. Couldn't believe it was going that long. But now I've seen cars go 100,000 more. You got your Toyota. Would you say 104?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, and you haven't put brakes on it yet. I mean, it's just because the technology of the rotors are so much better, the metals are better, the pads are so much better from that part. Because we have to be, so many people rely on their brakes. Like, I don't know about Josh and I, we don't rely on our brakes much at all. Well, yeah, we do.
And then, there's there's a part of that is what you're using it for, right? Especially on a pickup, is you've got so many different variations of pickups and or what the consumer uses that truck for, if whether you're towing or not, or have a load, or and like in your situation more on the highway than in town. And so I don't know, that's comes back to the multi-point inspection and why you value that so much, to be able to kind of track it and monitor that, and know about it, ahead of time for sure, or to be able to plan and prep for it. But to go 100,000 miles on a set of brakes now is not uncommon. Both ways. I've seen situations where I've not really seen anything, a newly produced vehicle or a modern vehicle, that didn't go 40,000 miles or something before you started needing brakes in any type of model or situation. So
then my second question, and this is just something, if you're going to have a Mount Rushmore of Ford colors that have been put on cars, my truck is a Star White metallic.
Yep.
Really love that color. I like the eruption green. If we're looking at, more historical colors, maybe Wimbledon white or the Misty Chrome, but that's pretty special. Anyhow, what makes the list for you guys?
On colors?
Some of these colors that roll in here that Ford puts out, I think, oh my God, it's kind of like they've come up with that new marsh green on the F-150, and I thought, oh my God, it's going to be terrible, but it's a great seller. It's doing very well from that part. So I don't know what they do to study these colors or whatever either. I'm a white guy for an everyday driver myself, but for a show car or something like that, I'm kind of on that black side, because once that black is cleaned up, looking good, there's nothing better now. Oh, Mr. Blue Boy over here, Josh is.
It's going to be blue. It's going to be blue every time for me. So, yeah, for sure.
Are you thinking like an Atlas blue or like blue?
Yeah,
they just come up with a new blue it's on the Super Duty F-150 now, and it's
first Super Duty rolled in. I was ready to buy it just based on the color, and I don't need a Super Duty either. So
it is a great looking blue, though. I
think they call it argon blue.
Yeah, argon blue.
Not that I've looked or anything.
Yeah, right, whatever. Someone was having me check the colors to see what all of them come on the other day. But that argon blue, I tell you, when it came in, I saw that same F-150, and I thought, oh my God, that's a beautiful color. From that part, they tell me for 26 on the F-150, there's a couple new colors coming, so I haven't seen that yet. The order bank on the 26 F-150 is going to open up the middle of this month from that part too, so a couple new colors on that part. But I don't know, a lot of different choices, but again, you can't get too many choices out there to know what's going to stock, and then how do you get into how the manufacturers get into different shades of like red and in the blues and that sort of thing, and the silvers even.
One of the things that really kind of surprised me, and this was years ago, I actually toured. We went to Bowling Green and went through the Corvette Museum, and then the manufacturing facility for the Corvette. Is just the fewer number of options of colors that they had available for each model line. There was maybe 5 colors pretty much, and that was it. And thinking back, they just changed those 5 colors pretty much every year or every other year to make it look like there's a lot more options out there for sure. And so
it's just like some of the decisions that the manufacturer make. It's like on Ford with the F-150 on the King Ranch, you can only now get it 2-tone. I don't know why they did that in 25. We were standing in the pit line last night at Humboldt Speedway, and one of my customers walked up to me and he says, "Hey, did they change that on 26 yet? I want my white King Ranch, solid white King Ranch back."
One. Yeah.
And I don't know why they did that. I have no clue why it has to be a 2-tone on a King Ranch.
So I'll take a 2-tone. I want it white on the bottom and white in the middle.
Yeah, I get it.
Sorry, I've been wondering about the color thing just a little. What you guys like? I've seen the eruption green up close. It looks.
I think that's a good color too.
That's a really nice color.
Well, and I would say
I've seen it on the Ford Bronco things or Mustangs. It looks good on a variety of trucks or vehicles.
Yep. And certainly, I think white and black are probably the 2 most common colors. Pretty much all the time. And the main reason I would assume for that is just like businesses or fleets, out there is stay neutral. I will say, from a perspective of keeping something clean, white every time. Like black, I love the color black, but I just don't know as that I could ever own anything black just because of, I mean, it just shows
Every
everything.
piece of dirt.
you
They
know?
look good when they're cleaned
Yeah.
up, shined up,
Yep.
sitting inside.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that completely.
Yeah. So
Anyway, okay. Well, thank you for the time, guys. I appreciate your time.
appreciate
Great
the call,
question.
buddy.
Yep.
All right, we got another caller coming up, Josh.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get,
Yeah, I'm going to go back through my chat notes. Hey, good morning, Dennis Nelson. How are you doing, buddy? Got several people watching. I'm not sure what Kelly Hamilton's coming up with here. Gunpowder flash.
Oh, like a color or something?
No, that was before the colors. He brought that up right by the time we was talking about the tires. So I don't know what he's got up his sleeve there.
Let's see what maybe he can give a little more detail to that. So,
Yeah.
hey, let's go back to the phone and let's talk to Steve. Steve, you're on live with Under the Hood. Good morning.
Hi, guys. Hey, my daughter has a 2013 Honda Accord, and it's got keyless entry and push-button start. And the push-button start a couple months ago took to where, about every third or fourth time it'd work. Then it'd quit completely. And then it would work again. And I looked on the internet and it said something about put it in neutral and try that. So she tried that and it worked one time. And so I just wondered if you had any ideas what would cause that.
The very first thing I would do is put a new battery in a remote. Are you saying you're saying the remote start, or are you saying a keyless
keyless entry and push button start? It's not a remote. It's not a remote start. This is just a push button start.
Yeah. Inside
the car. And and can you diagnose that when it's not doing it? That's part of the problem is whenever you want to take it someplace to have it looked at, it's working fine.
Yeah, I understand that completely. So a couple of questions for it. I know you said it, but I think I missed it. What was a year in
13,
and what was the model of vehicle?
It's a Honda Accord.
Honda Accord. Okay. And so a couple questions. One is like Phil was saying, so the battery in the fob would definitely be kind of a starting point. My second question would be, do you have another key or multiple keys to this vehicle?
Just has the one key, but she did replace the battery in the key fob.
Okay. Well, somewhere on that vehicle, there should be the receiver to the transmitter or the fob itself, and so there should be a procedure, like if that vehicle or if that fob was dead, to where you would be able to put the transceiver next to the receiver. So basically it took out the possibility of either the vehicle battery being dead or the key fob battery being dead. And basically it just mates them up, or it touches them next to each other. So I would certainly wonder if that wasn't an option, or would like to know about operating the vehicle when it didn't work with that method to see if it would then start. I'd be more than happy after the show. I can call you back and get like VIN specific information, and we can look up where that would be, and I can help you with that procedure. But that would certainly be one of the things. As far as being able to diagnose it when it is not doing it, there would be a possibility of there being diagnostic trouble codes in the computer system that could potentially lead us down a path or give us kind of a clue as to what's going on. Obviously, fastest, quickest, easiest way to do it is to figure it out while it's not working or inoperative, but certainly would be willing to take a look at it just to make sure that there's not any clues that would help us from figuring out what's going on with it without it actually being faulty at the moment. My question to you is, what's when this happens, what's the remedy to then it now starting to work? Is it a matter of she just leaves it time, tries it multiple times? Like what seems to be?
it's just wait. You can wait for up to 15 minutes to up to 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, and with not having another key, one of the things that I would wonder if there's not a defect in the key or something along those lines too. And so we do have a couple of tools that can check the frequencies of the key and just make sure that it's outputting what it's supposed to be and everything like that. So I'd be more than happy to throw a diagnostic onto your package and then also give you a call and look up that procedure on the fob itself. Just so you guys know where that location is, and if it happens, to be able to try that as well. So,
okay, well, I appreciate the diagnostic, and I'll let her do that because there's no need to call me back because I don't have the car here or anything like that. So,
gotcha. Okay,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Well,
okay.
let's get that on your package and
Well,
let's get that thing in here. I'd be curious to find out what we find out once we
Yeah.
diagnose it, and then we can kind of maybe
Yeah,
report back
I
on the show.
appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate the call.
that's it's always a pain, those
Intermittent stuff.
yeah, it is very tough when you're dealing with intermittent stuff like that for sure. And those the keyless entry systems, I'm trying to think back kind of when those first came out, but I can't tell you how handy they are to have that. But then obviously the loss of a key fob is a lot more common. Things
And that
like
had
that.
to be in the 80s, wouldn't it?
Well, so I'm thinking not keyless entry. Sorry, I'm thinking of the intelligent, intelligent
key.
access. Yeah.
Okay, that part of it.
to
I
where
was
it's
just going
actually
after the
a
key fob button to
Yeah.
unlock the doors. What I was
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that would have been years ago, but and now they've got the vehicles that just have phone as a key
Phone
and
as a
stuff
key,
like
and-
that. And so I don't know. I've not. I know the options there and stuff, but I've never really
never
been
set
in
that up.
one or set one up.
I've never
just
done that either.
And I
I
think
think
that
the
would
only
be
thing we have that has that right now is a Lightning and Mach-E. I think.
Mach-E. Yeah. I'm really surprised that hasn't expanded because it's been a couple years for each one of those.
And I'm really surprised
vehicle.
that too, that the technology hasn't went into when they it's like when they did the Expedition and revised it, the Explorer and revised it, that they didn't put that in there. So who knows? Anyway, hey, 316-462-3673. Had a couple great callers. Let us have some more. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be. Love to hear from you and get you a great price package back at you for that phone call and calling in here. So anyway, Josh, we were talking about our tire sale.
Mhm.
We were talking about the equipment that you have to do these, to mount these tires correctly. And that's where we got into the alignment machine. And like I was telling you, I see these ads on Facebook now where you can take your iPhone and align a car. Boy, howdy, I tell you how accurate that can be, right? So, and it shows you putting it in a little cradle kind of a thing and setting it up on your tire, and you can measure caster, camber, and toe all in one shot. Yeah, I'm sure you can measure it, but it isn't going to be very accurate, is it, Josh?
Well, and my thing too is again going back to both the tools and equipment, but then having somebody that is knowledgeable enough to understand what they're reading, what they're working on, being able to look at the previous tires that were on it, see how they were wearing, to understand
what to do,
what's going on with the alignment, right?
Well, it's like you were talking a little bit for that first caller about the alignments there's a tolerance on each measurement that they give. You got caster, camber, and toe is basically your three measurements on all four wheels of a car today. And they give you a spec plus or minus either way from that part, but you can't just have everything in that plus or minus range and the car is going to drive straight. You got to have so much difference on each side and comparable to each side and that sort of thing. And I'm on these different forums that I watch. I don't talk much on them. I just love to see the comments and try to see stuff what people are talking about. And this happened to be one of the GT500 clubs that I'm on Facebook. And this guy shows a picture, and it's our Hunter alignment machine, Josh. Shows it up there. All four wheels are green. Okay, on that alignment machine. So everybody thinks, hey, that alignment's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm telling you, it couldn't be more screwed up in all my life than the numbers that I saw from that part. And his comment on there, I'm still pulling to the left and the dealer can't fix it for me. And no kidding, I can see exactly why he's pulling to the left, because he had so much stuff, had so much on the right side on the tire leaning in and so much on the left leaning out. I mean, there's no way it couldn't turn left.
Yeah.
From that part. So again, having the right proper equipment, the right training, but accurate equipment to give you the best reading from that part to to know how to set that alignment up to drive that car straight down the road.
He was set it up for dirt track.
That's what I think he was trying to do. Make that thing turn left is what he was. Whoever was setting it up, guarantee he was a dirt tracker driver trying to set that thing up. But I really think what he did, he just put everything in green and thought it was going to be great.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work that way from that part.
Well, and that's where, again, the experience comes in to be able to look at the previous set of tires, look at all your alignment readings and adjust it accordingly. And, you know, we've had several situations or scenarios where, you know, people maybe have a higher performance vehicle and they're really set up, you know, for handling and stuff like that. And maybe that's not the intent that they use it from. And we're able to adjust the alignment still within the tolerances,
Yeah.
but be able to get them, you know, a substantial amount more miles out of a set of tires than otherwise what it would be set up for the performance aspect of it. And that's just not what they're doing with the vehicle, right? So to be able to adjust that and make it work for them. And again, when you're talking $1,000, $1,200 for a set of tires, that if you can make it go a third longer, that's a huge benefit to you.
I remember some of them sets I sell for my dad were $25 a tire, so $100 for a set of tires. It's crazy how much tires have gotten, but I get it. I mean, the technology of the tires, how much longer? I mean, back then it lasted 10,000 miles.
Well, and the other thing, not only to mention the tread side of things, but I mean, I can remember all the time having a tire, a belt brake on it, or, you know, just the quality of production of
It's terrible
of what they were. And that was just the normal. It was the standard to be able to do that, or
You know, it's
have it
kind of
like
like
that.
I sold a Transit. They call it a KUV body. It's kind of a utility bed on the back of it, and sold to a guy, and he got a little excited because it didn't have a spare tire. Well, the van was ordered spare tire delete. You know, number one, it saves money, saves weight, everything else from that part, and no jack and tools. He's just freaking out on me about it. And I said, "Look, when's the last time you had a flat?" Well, that's not the point. And I said, "Well, think about it. That's why it's kind of went this way." He said, "I can't believe that they didn't put a spare tire." And I said, "Well, whoever the dealer ordered this thing, because we get these KUV bodies from different fleet companies and stuff to bring in here. It was ordered with. I mean, it says right on the sheet, spare tire delete." But you go back to how many times you really see cars. I mean, all the time you see people on the highway with the tire down or changing tires. You see it a little bit now, but you really don't see it a lot.
I would even take that one step further. And so you see less people on the side of the road because of a flat tire.
Yeah.
But then out of those percentage of people that you do see on the side of the road with a flat tire, what's the shape of their other 3 tires? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know.
Like that. And,
Yeah.
you know, you say that stat all the time that the majority of your tire failure happens, you know, in the last life of the tire. But, you know, a lot of situations that I get in like that, it has nothing to do with the tires and everything to do with how the vehicle has been taken care of and maintained, that, you know, that got you in that situation. It's not the tire's fault. You know,
It's not the tire's fault at
from
all from that part. Or the biggest thing really today is air pressure.
Yeah.
We can't look. Years ago, you could walk up a tire and tell it was low. You can't do that today. And just letting 5 pounds out of the air pressure of your tire builds more heat. And if you've got a C-rated tire on temperature, it can't handle that heat and it's going to come apart. And again, is that the tire's fault? No, it's a consumer's fault for not keeping the right amount of air in that tire. And that's where I go back to the tire sensors that we can see on these cars today and know exactly what pressure's in them and stuff like that to protect ourselves, because you just cannot see that pressure. And again, running at 5 pounds low on pressure is just taking so much wear out of that tire, life out of that tire on the outside edges, wearing them off from that part too. So many things to look at, so many variables on that, but it is amazing how we come in tires and technology and stuff. And I'm just thinking over the years of my stuff, you know, going back to the first tire machine that I was mounting tires, it was a manual thing. And I remember hanging on that bar trying to break a bead down and couldn't get it done. And my dad would walk behind me and grab me and pull me
you
down
down.
so I could break the bead. You know, and now where we're at with these machines today, you hardly touch the tire and let that thing, it all does it itself.
I mean, I can remember just the sidewalls of tires, or how they would almost corrode on the rim and trying to break the break the bead on them, and how much of a pain that was, for sure. It is crazy how far the technology has come, both on the research and development of the tires and making them better, but then just the machinery to do it. I mean, I think now this Revolution machine that we have back here, that you could almost do it without touching the tire, you know.
You roll it up, it lifts it on there for you, measures everything out for you. You just got to push a few buttons.
Push a couple buttons here and there, and it can be very, very intimidating for somebody new
Sure.
walking
Oh,
up to
yeah.
that machine and trying to figure out how to run it. But then, and it's the same story over and over when you get a new piece of equipment like that. Is bring it in and train on it and stuff like that, and you get all the guys like, oh, this thing takes forever, and it's just change, right? But then a little bit later, they're all using it, every one of them, and that's the one they want to use, and they'll wait on that one versus everything else. And so
Yeah, when you're bringing in something new, everybody's got that negative attitude towards it. Oh God, what's different? Then next, it's the greatest thing in the world.
well, and it's just from that perspective is just the wear and tear on a guy's body, right?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and what they gotta do to
Yeah.
mount a tire manually versus using that more automated machine is a huge difference for sure.
Yep, huge difference. Hey, 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. So we give that great prize package by over $130 for each and every caller calling in. And again, anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever you want to talk about, even racing.
I was going to say, on the racing side of things, what I didn't get a chance to. What happened last night? Where we at?
We we're going to be at 81 Speedway tonight. We went to Humboldt in over there in Humboldt, Kansas. They have a great little speedway over there. But the World of Outlaws came to town for last night and tonight. And of course, these guys are, these guys
fast.
do this for a living. And they're fast. And they've been doing it a while. Everybody was, there's no way we were not going to go run with them just to try to compete and stuff too. But we come out of the gate and, those guys are intimidating, man. The way they hit them corners and everything else like that. And we come out of the gate and we just missed the setup a little bit and time trialed in out of 18 cars. He time trialed in at 10th. So that wasn't too bad. Put us in a heat starting a 6th, which we needed to finish 4th to lock in. But the top 4 guys were like
they were gone.
They were 1, 2, 3, 4 in points all year. So
yeah.
we had a stack heat race, which is fine. I mean, I get it. We went there to see how
experience it.
And it was a great time, but naturally we didn't do well in the heat, but then we went out in the B feature and had a great run, made some strides in the car and stuff like that too. But again, you can only take top 3 and we were starting 6th and there was just no way to get there.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was great. I can't wait to go again tonight. If you're looking for something exciting to do, these World of Outlaw cars are just so fast and so cool. They're going to be at 81 Speedway tonight. And if it's just half as fun as it was last night, it's going to be a blast tonight. So if you need something to do tonight, jump out to 81 Speedway. But I'm telling you, these guys, Bobby Pierce is there. And what's cool about that too, we went up and Bobby Pierce is always on flow and he's winning a lot of races and stuff. And we went walking up there to check out the track, like we always do. And there's Bobby Pierce standing there and just talks just like a normal. He's not got himself like he's on some. He's the points leader. He's not on some pedestal clear up here, but he stood there and talked to Jake and talked about the racetrack and all that kind of stuff. Just a cool dude. And that's what's fun about those guys. It's nothing to hide, that sort of thing. They all talk to you. They're not better than you. And the World of Outlaw guys come around and the officials and stuff came around to our pits and thanked us for being there. And it was fun to get our car teched like that. And I mean, it's so crucial at tech. They made us move our left rear door in a 1/2 inch.
Really?
Just too wide, 1/2 inch.
The other day I was looking at the car and I thought it might have been 1/2 inch too wide back there, but I didn't want to say anything
But yeah, to have that pre-tech to come by and check out your car, and some other tracks do it, but they
not to that extent.
Not to that extent. Yeah. I mean, those 2 guys were on our car for 10 minutes with tape measures and templates. Just like the front nose, the 2 guys beside us that we race against, our local guys too, their noses were dished too much. So they had to go put some foam in there and bring their nose up. And the top part of their fenders were too wide. They had to put some bolts in those fenders and bring those the hood down in too tight. So it's cool to have that part of it for those guys. But again, the amount of dollars we're talking about these guys are racing for, the officials have to be there. And I tell you, they put on an efficient race. I mean, we had 38 cars there, which was cool. And we were done at 10:30.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was really crazy. And it's a fast paced deal. You don't wait. I mean, let's go.
Yeah.
And they got a guy coming around with a horn and he blows this horn real loud. And that's an 8-minute mark. So, that's the first race going out of whether it's the qualifying or whether it's the heat races or, from that part. That was fun to know. So you knew exactly where you're at, knew how to time it right, which was fun. but yeah, I can't wait to get the 81 Speedway tonight to try it again. We learned a lot last night, and a couple of local guys come around and say, "Have you ever run with Outlaws?" No. I said, like, I wasn't going to come run with these guys.
Yeah.
I have to come. And Jake was excited to come. Nick and I worked on the car all week to get things ready to go. And, and I said, our thing was a win for us if we did make the show. Well, we didn't make the show.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get that done tonight.
So nothing from last night carries over tonight, right?
Nothing.
Like, two
fresh new shows.
Start fresh. Yep.
Yeah. And, but again, if you're looking for something to do tonight, or just want to change your plans to go here, we're running on and our motor is a motor just like the World of Outlaws guys run.
Yep.
And not many of the races we don't have guys that have that style of motor. But when you put
38 of them, or whatever,
or you put like in a heat race, it's 10 cars, and you put all 10 of them have those motors, and those all 10 get wound up at 8,500 RPM. Oh, there's nothing better than that sound. So now think about it when you put 40 of them out there.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody out there running nothing but those big motors. I mean, you can't compete if you don't. But put 40 of those cars on that racetrack at one time. Even the B feature with 18 of us out there, it was cool as hell to hear that sound and hear them wound up like that. So if you're needing something to do tonight's the night at 81 Speedway, John and Alan will have that track prepped up, ready to go. Katie and JR is excited. They come around the pits last night, talked to us. They're pumped, excited for the race tonight. So it'll be a fun time out at 81 Speedway for sure. And then they're going to have a mod race. And Ryan Gustin is going to get in a car, and Ethan Dotson is going to get in Tyler Davis's car. So there's a couple of big names. I know Tanner Mullins is going to come out and race, but they're going to run for 3,000. I can almost mean it's just go bring what you rung. I don't think there's going to be any rules or anything. Just go, because there's no points, no nothing. JR wanted me to bring on my modified out there and race with it, but my little IMC motor, that wasn't going to work.
That's not. You already know you're showing up late to that deal, like bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah. So, but it would have been fun to put that out there, but we just haven't even worked on that modified since we got back from Boone, from that part either. So, but
and that's a 3,000 to win deal.
3,000 win night, no points, no nothing. So what, it's going to be hell bent for loose and going. And it'd be fun to see Ryan Gustin, Ethan Dotson, and Tanner all out there together. There's some big names out there. I hope that Jake Tim was running a late model there at 81 tonight at 81. He was there also at Humboldt last night, and I hope he pulls his modified out and goes for a run. It'll be fun to see all those guys line it up. And
sounds like if you're not first, you're last scenario is what it sounds to me like.
Yeah, something like that too. So. Anyway, Josh, what else we got?
One of the things that I had on my list that excuse me, gosh, I got a frog in my throat, that I wanted to bring up this week or talk about this week. And I had the situation pop up twice. Had a gentleman come in towards the end of or middle of yesterday and was working. They were working on a car, and he was just looking for information. So he had another shop working on his car, an independent repair shop. And again, this goes back to kind of the tools and alignments that we were talking about, or the alignment machine, but then not only the quality of equipment, but the knowledge of the guy that's running it. Right. And so has this intermittent issue. He's driving down the road and his accelerator pedal just wouldn't respond or doesn't do anything. And
what kind of car again?
So it was an older a Crown Vic. So it was like last year the Crown Vic.
Well, he needs to take that out and put that up as a race car.
As a race car, yeah. It was a really nice car, low miles. I think it only had 40,000 miles on it, stuff like that. But he went through and he's listing off all these components that had been replaced, and somebody put a throttle body on it, and somebody put a throttle position sensor in it, which was actually part of and included in the throttle body. So that same part had been replaced not only once but twice. The pedal position sensor had been replaced on it, and
just kept parts at it. So later you might catch what's wrong with it.
Yeah,
right?
just kept throwing stuff. I mean, they put mass airflow sensors in it and oxygen sensors, and then this whole time I'm like, some of these parts, like I'm having a stretch. Seen a lot of weird things in this industry, and a lot of things lead to something that you wouldn't think would get there. But like the number of components that he's talking about and what's been replaced, I'm just like, I don't know how you make the connection of that part causing what your symptoms are, or what's happening with this vehicle. And so to me, it's like, okay, we clearly have a little bit of lack of experience of somebody working on this thing or knowledge of what's going on. But again, and the customer did say that, you know, I've never really got it to successfully replicate, or the shop has never really got it to successfully replicate, but they're still just kind of throwing parts at this thing time after time. And so, anyways, I told him, you know, hey, we'll look at it, and so we ended up getting involved in this thing, or in the middle of the thing, and it ended up coming down to being a wiring issue.
That's what.
Out of the whole deal, it ended up being a wiring issue with this thing. But I just think of, you know, at first the conversation started out of, hey, you wanted to get the vehicle in, and then we were talking about, you know, how long it was going to take to get to it, and how I can't wait that long, and I've been going through all this stuff. I was like, well, let me at least take a glance at it and see kind of what's going on. But my whole time I'm sitting here thinking, man, all the headache that you've been through, and all the
dollars you spent.
dollar you've spent on this deal, just, and you know, some of it trial and error, but also some of it's like, just because wrong place, wrong person, wrong tools, wrong equipment. And in his list of components, you know, a lot of that was just kind of parts house guys, you know, hooking a scanner up to something and saying, okay, hey, let's try this, or let's do that. And then he was having, you know, a neighbor work on it. And then it went from there to a repair shop. And then from that repair shop to another repair shop. And the whole time I'm thinking, man, this is, I felt sorry for the guy and all the headache and trouble that he'd been through. But also, that's your analogy on the restaurant side of things, right? There's a reason why it takes to get somewhere, to get quality, and
Yep, that's what I always said. If you work to a restaurant and there's nobody there, you want to eat, not me. But if there's a long line there, you know why. There's something good waiting for you at that side of the side of there once you get set down at the table and stuff too. But same, I look at that same way. I hate the wait times that we have. I shouldn't say wait time, the days it takes to get a car into our shop.
Sure.
But again, the experience we have, the technicians we have, the tools we have, the way we go after it to go fix it. But anyway, so what have we figured out what's wrong with it?
Yeah. So there was a wiring issue with the vehicle, and we were able to get it addressed and squared away. And you know, we're talking really from a labor time, took maybe an hour and a half. And as far as like parts and stuff, it was just a repair. I mean,
no parts needed.
Yeah, there was really no parts that were needed in it. And basically it was a correlation between the two sensors. And if you hit a bump just right, or turn just right, then the wires were moving and, you know, grounding out and causing an issue in one of the references of the one of the two throttle position sensors. And then the car just went into a limp mode because it didn't know, you know, it didn't know which one to listen to. And so it just went into the fail safe mode. And
that's why you can't pull a code and the description of the code tell you what's wrong with your car. It can't happen.
Well, and
you can get lucky sometimes, not very often, but you can get lucky.
And I think too, so a kind of twofold thing is, like, these cars are becoming more and more intelligent, right? It's amazing how
we think AI is going to do to cars here shortly.
Yeah, how in depth the knowledge of these modules are. And but to your list of codes, you know, we went from this many to this many to this many, and I mean, we're at thousands of potential DTC codes. Then one, having the tools and equipment to do that, but these vehicles are never going to get to a point where they're going to be able to fix themselves. Like, it's just not going to happen.
No.
You know, and almost feel some days they're too smart for their own good too, right? It's almost a counterintuitive thing on how intelligent these things are, or they try to manufacture them to be. Which, from a technician standpoint, if you're not continuing to train, continuing to learn, continuing to understand, you know, years ago, I would say, being out of this industry for a year and a half,
you would jump right back in.
You could probably jump right back in. Today,
ain't happening.
Like, there would be such a steep learning curve on what it would take to be able to do that. And that's where the amount of training that goes into this to be able to accurately do it is huge, for sure.
I agree 100%. It's a thing we've stressed here, Josh, is all the time we've been here about training our techs to have them properly trained, but have the right equipment for them too. Because if they don't have the right equipment, they're not trained up, they can't fix nothing.
Yeah.
Even though they were trying hard, they're have a great knowledge of what they think they have, but if they're not trained up and they don't have you can be trained up, but you don't have the right equipment. I mean, I remember that's back in my day even starting. I mean, I got out of the dealership world for a year and realized, man, I got no training. I got no right tools in this place. I got to get back into a dealership. And I went right back into a dealership, and guess what? Went into that dealership, and again, there's good and bad dealerships. That dealership didn't have the special tools I needed. Promised me to send me to training and didn't. So I had to get out of that place, and that's when I went to Topeka and finally found a store that had the right tools, would buy the right tools, and sent me to training and got me up to date with what I needed to do. And I still remember sitting there when I was working the store in Salina. I was fighting. It was when TunePort just first come out, so that would have been 85.
I was gonna guess 84,
and we had a
85.
hesitation on one of those things, and I couldn't fix that thing. I tried everything in the world. The sun couldn't fix it. And that's when I went up to Topeka, and they got me the right training. Guess what? If I got the right training, I figured I could have diagnosed that car in 2 seconds. But they wouldn't train me or anything. So that's when we push here at Mel Hamill Ford very hard, is make sure these techs are trained, they have the right tools. And, back in my day, we were getting greasy, grimy, overhauling motors and transmissions and stuff. And now today, these guys are sitting there with a laptop, diagnosing cars and fixing them with laptops.
Yeah.
From that part. So anyway, Josh, what else is on our agenda?
So I wanted to recap that. Let's see. We talked about the tire sales too. I wanted to recap for sure on that. What you've got the race coming up next Saturday. We need to
next Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday. Sorry,
next Friday, Saturday, Salt City. I can't believe we're talking about this as the last 2 races of the year. Seems like the year just got started, and all of a sudden it's already over. It's how fast flying flies. But hey, we're gonna have ASCS sprint cars at Hutch next Friday and Saturday. 2 complete shows. ASCS has been on the phone with them quite a bit this week, and they're excited to get back. They were here in May. We had a great show with them guys. We have the 305 sprint cars. A lot there at Hutch, but when these 360s fire off, it's the same difference as those late models going to be at 81 Speedway tonight. It's just a whole different sound, a whole different deal, especially sitting underneath that roof at the grandstands at the fairgrounds. It's really a great sound and stuff too. So, and then we're going to have a 2-day stock car show too. The stock cars have been our best class over there all year long. Those guys put on a great show. So we're going to have a 2-day show for those guys too. We're going to run some heat races Friday and have 2 qualifier races to qualify in for the A main on Saturday. And then Saturday we'll have some last chance qualifiers on the stock cars, and then put 24 cars on that racetrack and have a 25. Hopefully we'll have a 25 lap feature. That's all going to be determined up on ASCS, what they want us to do, how much the track they think will hold it. Might have to back the stock cars up to 20 laps, just depending on what ASCS tells us they want to do, because ASCS is the show and that stuff too. So get on saltcityracing.com and get your ticket spot in advance. Of course, you can buy them at the gate too, but save the hassle and get them bought early. A lot of fear. They say that you buy your ticket. I don't want to talk about something getting canceled. We can refund that money very easy if it does happen. Hopefully it doesn't. We've only had 1 rain out this year, which is cool.
Especially with as wet as it's been this year. It's absolutely crazy.
Been very lucky. So let's go fill those grandstands up one last time for 2025. Next Friday,
it's
Saturday.
so hard to believe that we're to the end of that deal for sure. But
yeah, I can't believe it either. We're already there, stuff too. So.
And what do you have left for racing then, or do you know?
Well, we got the following weekend after that. We can run clear down to Pecola, Oklahoma. Not sure we're going to go do that one because that's a long haul back down there. We went down to the Lake Ozarks last weekend, and we got home at 5 a.m. That was a little rough.
Yeah.
But then the last race we got is at Texas Motor Speedway, the first weekend in November.
Oh.
And that's the points championship that Jake is leading right now with the Rebel Late Model Series. So we'll be down at Texas Motor Speedway for 2 days down there. And that's
awesome.
That'll wrap up the season. I can't believe it's talking about that season's over either, too, so it's been a fun year from that part, and just can't thank everybody enough for keeping Salt City alive and keep it racing over there and all the fun we're going to have. So make sure you get in the stands for next Friday and Saturday. And be ready for some exciting ASCS sprint cars and the stock cars.
Very good.
So, Josh, I can't believe we're running out of time here, too.
Yeah,
so we talked about the tire sale, which is great. If you got in on the tire sale, congratulations. If you missed it, sorry from that part. And racing tonight out at 81 Speedway. And if you want to see some fun, exciting World Outlaws and see some great, well-known name guys out there. What's cool about that, too, I didn't think about it either, Josh, is McCready, Tim McCready, who he's actually racing. He actually drove the car we have.
Oh,
He's-
really?
He's, up in the points there. So he was racing. I tried to get over. He's pitted by us, but we were running so hard last night. By the time I saw him, I'm going to go try to get over 81 Speedway. But yeah, the car we bought, Tim McCready did drive that car, which is cool. So from that part, but those guys are pretty. Overton's out there. Bobby Pierce is out there. There's just a lot of great names out there running that be very cool. You see him on Flow all the time and TV and stuff. It's cool to see him in person. So
to be able to talk to him right there. Maybe he's got some secrets on how that car handles and
He
what,
might.
what you got to do one way or the other. So
I'd like to go talk to him. Trust,
Mhm.
trust me, he might be able to tell me a few things. But it was cool. We got a great the stats and the specs and the maintenance and all that stuff that Rocket kept on that car was amazing. So we know how many laps it went. We know which one. Hudson O'Neal drove the car too. We know how many laps it went. We know which motor was in it. It won 5 races of the 33 that it was in. So it's cool to see all those stats and stuff.
that
too.
is awesome. Yeah. So it can be done.
Oh, it can be done. It's just Jake getting situated in that car, getting
Yeah.
comfortable in that car. And it's a big jump going from 400 horsepower to
Well,
900.
and you're jumping in the top of the top competition too. that's let's say
taking a
that's,
swing at it,
that's
right?
what they call jumping into the fire. I think I'm almost certain of it. So
Yeah. Well, hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for always the callers and everybody calling in. We love giving away this prize package. But everybody have a great Saturday. And we'll talk to you live, of course, Wednesday at Salt City at 5:30. And then, of course, next Saturday here at 9 o'clock also. Do you have to figure out, Josh, we're going to be doing it here. We're going to do it over the racetrack on next Saturday from that part. So everybody have a great Saturday, and we will talk to you shortly.